I've told Mr. Kent that we're very short of medical supplies. He says we must make do with what we have.
Is that the list? I'll see to it. The Amelia is responsible for the injured men, their wives and their families. Does Mr. O'Manion have a family?
His family? They're very kind. Deirdre! Deirdre. Sorry. I'm looking for a family from Ireland, O'Manion. There's a young lady, a boy of about 15, a little girl with blonde hair and a child.
But I can't help you.
But they were expecting to meet their brother here. Surely they'd wait for him.
I would, if they were alive.
What?
It's the worst one yet. The floating coffin ship. If your family's not here, you're dead.
Morning.
I heard about the family. How is he?
He's unconscious. 2 days now.
Here's the authorization for the medical stores.
He agreed?
Is there anyone here called O'Manion?
Yes,
Rory
just
O'Manion.
over there.
I've brought a young woman here, just quite distraught. She was carried unconscious into St. John's Hospital. We found a letter amongst her possessions. It contained the name Rory O'Manion. Said he worked at Kent's powder mill.
Deirdre? Oh, thank God you're alive. I thought you were dead. Here, let me help you.
Deirdre. Oh, thank God. Rory. Let me go. Let me go. Rory. Rory. Oh, I found you. Rory, wake up. Wake up, it's Deirdre.
Deirdre, what's happened? Where is the family?
If Dad's fiddle leaves Ireland, who will dance and sing when the good times come again?
Do something, for heaven's sake, she's out of her mind.
No, Brian. You must come with us to America.
It's best if we let her go on.
That little boy all alone in the cabin. Brian wouldn't come.
What happened to Maeve and Sean?
I didn't mean to hit him. The fever. Maeve. You must try to eat something. No, Sean. Sean, would you take food from your dying sister? Oh! God, forgive me. I hit him. Is that the last thing you remember?
Deirdre, where is Sean?
The Gavins took him. Some people on board the boat.
Do you know who they were, Father?
She was alone and suffering from fever when she was taken from the ship to our hospital. No sign of a boy at all.
Where's Sean? Oh! Sean's gone. Help me! Help me, please! I've lost Sean!
Taylor.
They took him from me!
Taylor.
water at Kent Powder Mill. Ignoring safety regulations, Mr. Kent exploits the ignorance of illiterate Irish immigrants. The death toll is mounting hourly, and one of these unfortunate fellows, Mr. R. Manion, was blown clear across the yard. No doubt it was the thickness of his skull which accounts for his surviving this long, though he lies fatally injured. Fatally injured? Yes, absolutely a pack of lies.
We demand that Mr. Kent and his death-dealing enterprise be put out of business.
Well, that's bound to hurt your reputation. And what with the shareholders of the bank not wanting to renew your loan as it is.
Caleb, you understand I must have that loan in order to rebuild, or I'm out of business.
Now, I keep reminding you, James, that your safety standards just aren't good enough. And now with this accident...
Accident? That was caused by a bad workman. This Manion. I've already dismissed him.
Dismissed him?
Yes.
Well, his name is mentioned in this article as having been injured in the explosion. Now, it would seem to me that he would be the one man in your entire workforce whom you should never dismiss. If O'Manion were to go to the editor of the paper and tell him the real cause of this accident, no one in New York or Philadelphia would lend you a red cent.
Eamon, is Maureen all right?
I told you, she's safe and sound with Mrs. Callahan.
What is the peeps that took care of Sean when you were sick? Gavin, they were called.
They're from County Mayo. That's all I know.
I'm gonna look for them.
No, Rory.
Now, you be reasonable. Let me make some inquiries. I'll do the very best I can.
It's terrible hard on Rory. It near tore the heart out of him to be driven from Ireland.
It wasn't his choice then to leave.
Ah, no. He'd never have left of his own free will. I don't know how to thank you for your kindness.
We will find Sean. That I promise you.
Please, God.
Deirdre, Deirdre. It's been so long, I don't even know what size he is.
That child over there was found abandoned near the quay. I thought perhaps...
Yeah? Hello.
No.
Deirdre. Sean, hello.
No, Rory. I'm quite afraid we've lost him forever.
Not entirely. I've heard from a man named Patrick Delaney in answer to my reward notice. He suggests that, for a price, he could tell us of Sean's whereabouts.
Oh, but Caleb.
I think $10 will do. May I take you home?
No. I'm gonna walk. You can take Deirdre home.
You know I envy you and your brother.
Envious?
To have such a warm and loving family.
Did you not have any brothers or sisters?
No. I was an only child. My parents were not young when they married.
But they loved you?
I'm sure they did. But they couldn't show it. A small farm on poor soil can grind the heart out of a man. So.
Well, now you're a fine lawyer, Mr. Staunton. And I cannot even read nor write.
I could teach you.
Teach me?
Yes.
Would you really do that?
It would be a pleasure.
Oh, if only I could write a letter.
I could do that for you also, if you would tell me what to say.
No. This letter I must write myself. Or not at all.
Oh, I see. It's to some fortunate young man back in Ireland, perhaps.
Not Ireland. India.
Miss Clement's brother lives in India.
That he does. David. We are promised to each other.
Oh, I see.
Strange. Sometimes you meet someone and you can trust them straight away.
Would you like to start your lessons tomorrow?
Well, Mrs. Kent only allows the servants one afternoon a week, and mine's today.
Next week, then.
Oh, yes.
I told Natural. No, I don't believe it.
Ryan, give us one of your pints.
Rory, old man, I thought you were dead.
I'm one of the lucky ones.
Well, that's not what they said in the paper.
What? What are you talking about?
I can't say it's the most flattering obituary.
The ignorance of illiterate Irish immigrants. Unfortunate fellow, Mr. R. Manion, fatally injured. I see. So I am fatally injured at Kent's Powder Works. So it can't be me that's doing this to you now, can it? I ought to put you down the stairs, but I won't. And by the way, it's not Manion, but O Manion. I'm partial to that O. Oh! Literate means I can't read or write, doesn't it? Well then, how did I manage to understand all those lies in your filthy rag?
I don't know.
Huh?
Oh, I mean, you're not illiterate.
Right. I'm not. As for Kent's powder factory, I am advising Mr. Kent on the rebuilding with improved safety. So what you said about me was damaging to my professional reputation. Unless you print a retraction tomorrow saying that the explosion was unforeseeable, I will sue both you and Mr. Treadwell for libel.
Good day to you.
I have sent for you because Mr. Staunton tells me that you had something to do with this.
Not that I approve of violence.
And I've instructed my paymaster to put an extra $10 in your next paycheck.
That's not quite enough.
Not.
When you rebuild, I want the charcoal drying in a shed entirely apart from the tar and other inflammables. I want an infirmary built near the mill. And I want a full-time doctor, Eamon Fleming.
How dare you?
It might pay at that, James. Get the men back to work faster.
And while you're about it, you can build the workers decent houses as well.
Decent. They had no roofs over their heads in Ireland. They were living in bogs, like animals.
Right. I shall just tell the editor that I made a mistake and that the accident was caused by one James.
All right, gentlemen. Gentlemen, please. Shall we get down to business? Explosions not only cost lives, they also cost money. Why not rebuild the mill in such a way as to avoid the loss of either?
Well, now, Caleb, I have to get back into production at once, or I won't even be able to pay the interest on my debt.
You'll get the mill built in record time if you give me Ed Miller's job.
And now he wants to be foreman. What do you know about running a powder mill?
Enough to do it better than Ed Miller. It's true, and you know it.
Why not give him a chance, James?
What's the matter with you? An illiterate Irish immigrant just off the boat running my business? Are you crazy?
The immigrant also brings with him a strong sense of survival. Do you have any left? Because if you do, you must convince me, and I must convince the bank.
Well, now, Caleb, I need the loan. But I don't have to have a hothead running my mill in order to survive.
Does he get the job?
I'll put him on for a trial period. 90 days. Agreed or not?
Agreed.